We are Timber Sports.
United by passion for the sport and competition.
We chop down racism.
And say yes to tolerance.
Yes to tolerance.
Say ja till tolerans.
Yes to tolerance.
Yes to tolerance.
是的，理解宽容。
Powiedz tak tolerancji.
Ja zu Toleranz.
We are Timber Sports.
Hello everybody and buonasera. Welcome to Milano Congressi in Bella Italia and welcome to the Steel Timber Sports. Oh yes, World Trophy 2024. It's going to be 16th of the world's best athletes competing in the Clash of the Titans. And talking about Titans, this is Troy Mannering, who's just been watching the crowd, right?
I was just looking out the window of the crowds here and everybody's saying, turn around, turn around, turn around. Hey, it's a huge crowd out there and they are ready for this action. They are ready for action. Sorry, I didn't turn myself on. I was just looking out the window here and watching the crowd, and I'm getting all excited about this trophy format here for the World Trophy, and it is going to be fantastic. These guys got here through a series of qualifications. Let's take a look at that really quickly. Looks like this. We've got 16 athletes competing today. There were the National Trophy champion competitors, national qualifier, of course, then the European qualifier that brings us our Euros, and we have 2 wild cards, Switzerland and Italy this time. Then we have 4 seeded champions from across the water, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and then the 10 best European athletes through that qualifier to get us to those 16 athletes that are going to be competing in the World Trophy today. So that's going to be an interesting one today.
That's why I called it the Clash of the Titans. Another Titan is waiting for us on stage. It is Carlo Emanuele Esposito. Over to you.
Hello, yes, that's me. Allora, buonasera, siamo a Milano, nella capitale del design e della moda. This is Milano, capital of design and fashion. But, this night is Timber Sports World Trophy. This is the capital of steel timber sports. Therefore, I'm very excited because it's going to be a very adrenalinic night tonight. And I'm here in Milano. I'm not the only excited. Non sono l'unico ad essere emozionato. Perché questa è Milano. Milano, facciamoci sentire. Hey, Milano! Questa è l'atmosfera. This is the mood. This is the mood here in Milan. This is an astonishing stage here in the midst of the city life with the skyscrapers. Allora siamo molto emozionati, non vediamo l'ora che parta. And so to say, we can just start introducing our sport directors. Allora iniziamo subito salutando il Global Sports Director, Mr. Spike Milton, Great Britain. Good evening, buonasera. Global Sports Director number 2 from the USA, Nathan Waterfield. Buonasera, welcome. And we have some judges too. All right, i giudici from Great Britain, Andrew Hall. And judge from Romania, Radu Kazaku. Buonasera, benvenuti. All right, nice to have you amongst us. That's not all. Let's see behind the scenes. Allora guardiamo un attimo dietro alle quinte. Competition Control Center. We have the video judges, Jules Janssen and the Italian Alberto Corbetta. Welcome. All right, that's the way it is. And so to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, carissimi signore, anzi signore e signori, andiamo a conoscerli, i campioni, i qualifiers. Now it's the moment to introduce the best of the best of the world of timber sports. We start off from Australia, Brad DeLoza. Eccolo qui, benvenuto qui in questa arena che sarà appunto il centro dell'attenzione per quanto riguarda Steel Timber Sports. And now, from Austria, dall'Austria, Armin Kugler. Questo è il ritmo del Timber Sport. E prepariamoci a settare, salutare l'atleta dal Belgio, from Belgium, Koen Mertens. Uno dopo l'altro si mettono in riga prima per i saluti e poi chiaramente si partirà. And this is the athlete representing Canada, Geoff Lurking per il Canada. È il momento della Repubblica Ceca, Czech Republic, Martin Kalina. All right, benvenuto. E ancora Repubblica Ceca, Czech Republic, Mattias Klima. E maintenant la France, e per la Francia. Please welcome, diamo il benvenuto a Pierre Pubaret. Benvenuto. Atleta numero 8, Paesi Bassi, from Netherlands, Redmer Knorr. Eccolo qui, Milano li saluta tutti ad uno. Welcome him one after the other. One after the other, the champions challenging one another. E allora è il momento della Polonia. From Poland, Michał Dubicki. Woo! E ancora Polonia, once again Poland. Please welcome Szymon Grylva. Eccolo, all right. Arriviamo alla Svizzera, for Switzerland, Oliver Reiner. Welcome, willkommen, bienvenue. E ancora diamo il benvenuto all'atleta svedese, for Sweden, Emil Hansson. Ancora per la Svezia, for Sweden, Ferry Swan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, attenzione, per gli Stati Uniti d'America, for the USA, Matt Gugger. All right. Attenzione, attenzione. Prima di dare il benvenuto al local hero, before saying hello to the local hero, godiamoci questa clip. Let's see the clip.
Io amo la mia nazione e il fatto di poter gareggiare in Italia, dopo aver gareggiato insomma, in giro per il mondo. Poi nel frattempo, da quando è iniziato, è arrivato anche il Champion Trophy, che preclude un determinato tipo di allenamento diverso da quello che sono le discipline singole, perché è un endurance. Per eccellere ci vuole una preparazione molto più approfondita rispetto alle altre discipline. Io ormai sono quasi 15 anni che lo faccio. Siamo sempre abbastanza ad alti livelli e ci deve essere questo fuoco che brucia dentro.
Adesso vi voglio, here he comes, per l'Italia, Andrea Rossi, Andrea Rossi, Andrea Rossi, shout out, local hero, facciamoci sentire tutto il nostro calore. Così vi voglio, ancora, l'Italia rappresentata da Andrea Rossi, ecco il nostro local hero. What a night tonight, what an evening. And it's not over, ladies and gentlemen. Dopo Andrea Rossi è il momento di vedere un'altra clip. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to see another clip. The man to beat, uomo da battere. Via la clip.
He is the reigning champion. He is the man to beat. Give it up for New Zealand's Jack Jordan.
I do the same as last year. I've put a lot of hard work and do everything to the best of my abilities.
It's going to be an incredibly close race here, right down to the wire. Unbelievable. Jack Jordan's done it again, even with the slip. An unbelievable performance.
world is trembling. This is the man to beat the World Trophy winner 2023. Allora, trema il mondo. Attenzione per la Nuova Zelanda. This is Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. We are nearly completed, have completed our presentation of the athletes. Big hands, un grande applauso agli atleti qui presenti. All right, non vi sento. Good luck to everybody. Buona fortuna a tutti. Vinca il migliore. Back to the studio. Thank you so much.
Wow, great atmosphere here in Milano.
Absolutely.
Look at the athletes. They all seem to be very focused and very ready for this.
Yeah, or very nervous, one or the other. I don't know, but there's something going on out there.
Oh, yeah.
They've got their game faces on, and they are ready to compete today. But what was really nice was the reaction of the Italian crowd when Andrea Rossi went on stage. They absolutely exploded, and Carlo, of course, was having a ball with introducing Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan! Yay!
He's really into it, isn't he?
Why not? It should be that way out on stage.
And it's going to be a great competition. We've met the athletes, but of course we want to make sure that you know how the format works, and we've got a little clip prepared for you to understand everything you need to know.
The Steel Timber Sports Trophy competition. In the trophy format, athletes have to complete 4 disciplines back-to-back. After the start, they need to cut a complete disc with the stock saw within a 10-centimeter area. From there, the athletes have to complete the underhand chop as quickly as possible. Only after they split the block can they return to the starting point, where this time, the single buck is waiting for them to cut 1 complete cookie. In the final discipline, the athletes have to complete the standing block chop in order to achieve the best possible overall time. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification, and the athlete will be eliminated. All participants must first demonstrate their skills in the time trial. The better the athletes perform in the time trial, the easier their first elimination round will be. The 4 fastest go straight through to the quarterfinals, while the 5th to 12th placed athletes battle it out in the last chance round in knockout duels for the remaining quarterfinal spots. The athletes now continue to compete in a knockout system through the quarterfinals and semifinals. The losers of the semifinals will fight for the last podium spot in the small final. After that, the 2 winners of the semifinals will compete one more time to see who takes the title.
So there's the round of 16 that we're getting to see. These are the heats that we're going to start off with. It's going to be Jack Jordan, the reigning champion, the 2 times in a row winner against Armin Kugler. In heat number 2, Ferry Svan will take on Koen Martens. In heat 3, we're going to see Brad DeLosa take on Redmer Knoll. Simon Grönwald and Oliver Reinhardt will have their duel in heat number 4. In heat number 5, we're going to have Matthew Kogar and Martin Kalina. In heat 6, we'll see Emil Hansen and Pierre Pubaret. Heat 7 consisting of Michael Dubitsky and Andrea Rossi. And finally, in heat number 8, it will be Matthias Klima taking on Geoff Larkin.
All right, the returning champion, Jack Jordan, coming out on stage with Armin Kugler. This is not going to be an easy task for Armin Kugler. He has always been a solid competitor in the traditional formats, but in this format, he tends to be running out of gas. But you know what? He is that guy that you can never count out. He is such a solid guy. He just needs to work on that endurance and really be able to fight through it. But this is the beauty of this particular format. It's back-to-back-to-back racing, so if something goes pear-shaped, the guy that has the weaker tail of the tape, let's call it, could potentially win the heat. And this is now elimination, so if you do not win this heat, you are out. So just a little bit about Armin Kugler from Austria. 5th place at the World Trophy in 2016. He's been a 3-time silver medalist at the European Trophy, and he's a 9-time national pro champion for Austria. So the guy has pedigree. There's no two ways about it. Jack Jordan from New Zealand. He's a young guy. He's motivated. He's super fit. The World Trophy champion 2 times in a row now in 22 and 23. Will he get the hat trick in 24? Okay, he's got to start it off right here against Armin Kugler, a tough competitor. So let's see how this goes down. Folks, I got to tell you right now, don't blink. It's going to go by in a flash. World record, by the way, for the trophy format, 53.65 to cut all those blocks. That's insane.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very good start by both of these guys. Jack Jordan looking like he's got a clean cut. He cut that a little bit thicker, which is good. That's tactical in this case because he wants that thinner block to be there for the single buck when he comes back after the underhand chop. On the underhand chop, Jordan already the other side of his block. Armin Kugler going for a wide open face on that front side. He'll probably make it a bit narrower on the back side. Jack Jordan is through though and moving back to his single buck. This is what we talked about, why he made that first cut on the stock saw a little bit fatter, so he's got less material to push against that saw and bind on it on his way through on the single buck. Armin Kugler gets through on underhand, but he is really behind the 8 ball now if he wants to try and get anything done. Jack Jordan already on the standing block chop. Armin Kugler halfway through his single buck, but Jack Jordan moving over to the other side of the standing block chop. This should be no competition at all at this point for Jack Jordan. Whoa, big slab came off there, and that's a good time for Jack Jordan. 55.26. That is not far off the world record pace. That is unbelievable. Kugler still fighting to get a time here. He wants to have a time that will put him in some points because there are points at stake for these guys as well. Getting to the 1:15 mark now here, ever so closely. Couple more drivers should do it for Armin Kugler, and you can see he's already pretty much out of gas. Oh, he almost had it there, and one last driver does it at 1:25.80. So that will do it for Armin Kugler. It's tea time for him, unfortunately, but that man, Jack Jordan, he's already one step closer to defending his title, and he looks good, Floaty.
He looks hot, and he is definitely the man to beat. Not only the champion of 23, the champion of 22, but also the world record holder. And he was not far off that mark. And we know in the first rounds, you know, they're not going to be able to go as fast as they want to go, and they're not going to go for world records. But having seen this, anything and everything is possible today.
Yeah, these guys are also very tactical about how they use their energy here. So that's a season's best here for Jack Jordan for New Zealand, 55.04. A great time for the 28-year-old from New Zealand.
Not a bad way to start the competition, so impressive stuff as we await our next heat. And that's going to be a nice one between Ferry Swan and Koen Martens, but we're going to have some replays of Jack and Armin, and yeah, you can see where Jack made the time.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay on the stock saw. Armin was right there with him on stock saw. The difference was that Jack was pretty quick getting over to the underhand chop and starting the underhand chop. Armin's about 3 drivers behind Jack on the underhand chop, and then something went wrong there for Armin on his underhand. He had a knot or something. It took him a lot longer to get through there, and there was that final driver. The one thing that was a bit risky in that standing block for Jack was that one part of the backside of the block slabbed out, and that can really cause problems. So yeah, but Armin Kugler, you got to give him credit for really pushing through and fighting all the way to the end of this one. So that's that fighting spirit we love to see with these guys.
Yeah, and he's a great competitor. I mean, he's always around. He's always got a smile on his face backstage. On stage, he kind of keeps that competition face. But if you meet him backstage, he is such a nice person. He's a great character.
I mean, I can't say there's any of the guys that are here today or that have been at the events in the past that you could say, nah, I don't like him. You know, they're all really down-to-earth guys. I mean, this is timber sports in general. It's a big family of guys that are willing to help each other out, even from opposing countries. You know, like the Americans or the Canadians come over, they head straight to Switzerland or Sweden, and they train with the teams there to make sure that they're ready for these competitions.
Very true. And talking about nice guys, look at that heat. Some of the nicest guys in the business.
Absolutely.
Ferry Swan from Sweden taking on Koen Martens from Belgium.
So Ferry Swan, we mentioned earlier on during the rookies that there are a lot of very fit guys in timber sports these days. That's the trending situation, and Ferry Swan is absolutely among the fittest athletes out there. Koen Martens has been doing this a long time. He's 40 years young. You'd never know it to look at him, though. He is absolutely fit as well. He's the Belgian Series champion. He's 6 times National Pro champion, 6th place at the World Trophy in 2022, and the silver medalist at the European Trophy in 2022. So we know he can do it. Yeah. Ferry, on the other hand, struggles with this one. He's the winner of the National Trophy 21 and 22, rookie world champion back in 17, 5th place at the World Trophy in 22. But there's always this one little block for him. He's got all the skills to do it, but there's always this one little block. So let's see if he can get by that, because I was told earlier on by Tim Bertolga that Ferry Swan looks relaxed and happy, and that is always a good thing for him at these competitions. So let's see how he handles himself against Koen Martens here.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Even start by both. Good into the wood. Ferry Swan looking good like that cut. Oh my goodness, Koen Martens was quicker on that cut at the bottom. Very nice by Koen Martens. Ferry Swan and Koen Martens on the first side of their underhand chop.
Oh wow.
We'll switch to the other side. The pace these guys are cutting at is insane. Koen Martens looking very good on the second side of his block. Ferry Swan right there with him. Who's going to split that block and head to the single buck first? Oh, it's close here. And it's going to be Ferry Swan. Koen Martens a stroke behind. Looks like he almost tripped getting off that block. Here's a discipline where Ferry is very, very strong. Koen Martens well, but Ferry's got the advantage here, using that entire saw as efficiently as you possibly can. Oh! And Koen Martens gets a bit of a hookup, slowing things down. Now who moved to the standing block chop, about 6 drivers behind Ferry Swan, slapping some big pieces as those chips come flying off. Swan to the other side now. 3 strokes ahead of Koen Martens on his second side. Swan gets a sticky axe, giving an option to Koen Martens to try and catch up. And Swan does it with the last driver. Oh my goodness. It looked like it might be close. Koen Martens was on that second side and he wasn't that far behind. 3 drivers was all it took for Koen Martens to get finished after Ferry Swan was done. So that was really a very close race, and basically it came down to 2 or 3 hits on that underhand chop. I think even maybe 1 hit on the underhand chop and getting that single buck caught at the bottom of his stroke. Uh-oh, do we have an issue here?
I've not seen a yellow flag yet, to be honest.
No, I don't see any yellow flag, but I saw the 2 judges, Andy Hall and Radu Kasago, talking with each other, so, but it looks like we might be okay. Fingers crossed.
On the witness, Ferry Swan.
All right, so Ferry Swan gets through that one.
He's going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, he's going to be pleased by that. So this is a big deal for him. Ferry has usually been pretty good at getting through to the quarters and the semis, but it's always been, you know, head games for him when it comes to the higher pressure situations, but he looks really good this year. So this was a really nice start by both of the guys. They were dead even in the block, but it was Koen Martens that was just a hair faster there. And you could see he got over to the underhand chop. On the underhand chop, they were both pretty much dead even until we got to the second side of the block. On the second side of the block, Ferry was just a hair faster. And here, on that single buck, is where Koen Martens got a little bit caught up about the 3/4 mark of his cut. The saw just stopped, and that gave the advantage to Ferry Swan going to the standing block. And from there, it was a 3-stroke difference between the 2 of these guys. Yeah. A good run, though, and boy, they really kept each other honest in that heat.
Oh, wow, you can say that again. A very, very enjoyable start to the Steel Timber Sports World Trophy competition. And some great pictures that we're getting delivered here.
All right.
Ready for the next heat. It's time to say hello to Brad DeLosa, the legend, and Redmer Knoll, who really had a great season 2023.
Yeah, Redmer took steps in 2023 to move to the next level in his development. I mean, at 30 years old, he's not exactly a young gun, but he's still got a lot of life in him. He's actually been training in Australia with Brad DeLosa, so the fact that these two guys are going head-to-head in this third heat today is going to be quite interesting. Now, Brad DeLosa is an absolute living legend from Australia. Team world champion last year. I mean, that was a four-peat for them. Fantastic. He's been the individual world champion. He knows exactly what it takes to win these events. Redmer Knoll last year got 4th place. And that little boost for him was a huge difference because he won the European trophy a couple of months later. And you could see the motivation has changed drastically with Redmer Knoll. So I'm really curious to see how this goes down for Redmer. He just needs to get out of his own head and do what he knows how to do. And he can definitely beat Brad DeLosa, but Brad DeLosa was one of 4 guys in the time trials under a minute. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, you name it, he's won it, so he knows how to compete.
Absolutely, and he is so spot on with his preparation.
Big role model for many of the guys.
Absolutely.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Strong point for Brad DeLosa is that single buck. If he can get there ahead of Redmer Knoll, he'll have this one pretty much locked down. Both of them looking good as they head over to the underhand chop, dead even with each other, and start those drivers at the same time. Redmer Knoll getting a little bit of a sticky axe there. Brad DeLosa clean and solid through over to the second side. 2 strokes ahead of Redmer Knoll now as he moves over to the second side of his block. Brad DeLosa chipping out nicely. Redmer Knoll doing the same thing. Slightly sticky axes for Redmer there. Brad DeLosa trying to find his way through.
Wow.
Redmer's done it and gone over to the single buck first. Now the pressure is on because Brad DeLosa is excellent at this single buck. Will he be able to catch up to Redmer Knoll? Redmer Knoll is almost through, but Brad DeLosa's done it. He's caught up with them, and both of them drop the cookie at the same time. So this could be a close battle between these two guys here. The training that Redmer's done in Australia could have paid off. Will he be strong enough and have enough endurance to beat Brad DeLosa over to the second side at the same time of each other? Unbelievable pace here for both of these guys. Both of them looking quite tired as we come down to it. Will Redmer Knoll have the power to get through? He slips out! Redmer Knoll and Brad DeLosa almost dead even at the same time. 107.26, 107.7. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that was about the closest, most exciting heat we've had all day long. It's only 4 in and I'm losing my mind up here. Ha ha! Oh, I think it went to Brad DeLosa, but we're gonna have to see when the timing comes down if there's any adjustments that have been made to give the advantage to Redmer Knoll. But what an amazing run from both of these guys. Wow!
Whew, you can really feel the tension now.
And now I think they have to go to picture to see how close that was at the end. Our time is still running here. The timers never stopped it on the buttons. I think they were getting too excited like I was.
No, I think it was your voice that restarted time.
Maybe.
Unbelievable. Oh, well.
106.80, 106.88.
No
Holy smokes, 8
way.
tenths of a second is all the difference was there. How close was that? Now Redmer has to look at this and go, hey, that was an awesome run for me. That was an awesome run for me against an absolutely fantastic competitor.
And I think he does. He had a smile on his face. This is crazy.
Oh, so look at that. Redmer was about a half second slower getting that saw in place as Brad DeLosa was. And they both managed to get over to the other side for that underhand chop at about the same time. Now, Redmer had a couple 3 sticky axes, as you can see right there. But imagine, had those axes not been sticky, he would have been over to that single buck.
Don't even start thinking about that. He'll go crazy.
Early. I know. It was a nutty heat. That was so fantastic, though. And look at this. Redmer Knoll's disc drops almost a hair, just a hair ahead of Brad DeLosa. And here we go onto the drivers. Bang, one. And
exactly the same time.
This is about as close as it gets. Now, Redmer did slip through. And if he hadn't have slipped through, he would have been on it.
But did you see that look?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He slipped through, he stepped back from the block and went, ah! You know, it was one of those Scooby-Doo moments. Ah! And he came back and knocked it out. Wow, what an amazing heat that was. You can see right there, he thought he had it, slipped through, and then he looked over and he's like, ah!
I gotta be fast.
Yeah, one more here. And I mean, at this point, he's probably just absolutely gutted. Look at that, 0.8 of a second between these two guys. What an incredible heat there.
Look at that expression.
And the face.
Oh, he's such a character.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Love these guys, just fantastic.
Wow, already losing our voices here, and we're down to heat number 4.
I wish I could say I've lost 4 pounds in sweat here, but no, that hasn't happened.
Simon Grönwald taking on Oliver Reinhardt, the youngsters, age 18 and 24.
Hey, this kid, Simon Grönwald, is an absolute machine, and if it's possible, I think he might have grown a little bit since last year. He's got to be, what, 190, 186, no, sorry, 193 tall. He is an absolute talent. Absolute talent. His brother Mikolaj competing in the rookies earlier on. His father Jacek Grönwald also competes in the individual championship events. I mean, these are guys that that live, breathe, and eat timber sports.
And he, of course, is a former rookie world champion himself.
Correct. He got 11th place at the World Trophy last year. In fairness to Olli Reinhardt, though, in 22, he cut his hand really badly at the World Trophy in Vienna last year. He wasn't exactly 100%. So, yeah, silver medalist at the Rookie World Championships in 2022. Winner of the International Swiss Trophy in 2022. So,
yep.
Olli Reinhardt can do it. He just needs to do it.
I'll tell him you said so.
Yeah, please do.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, good lift by Simon Grönwald. He got in there quick. Different styles here as well, as Simon opts to keep that motor mid-set, and then he heads over to the underhand chop. Now watch the speed of the underhand chop by both of these guys, but in particular, Simon Grönwald is so quick with that axe, and he's quite accurate. Over to the other side now. He's about 3 strokes ahead of Olli Reinhardt, who's moved over to the other side. I've just created a new family name for both of these guys here. Simon now onto the single buck. Whoa, that took a while for Olli to get through there. And this one, oh, Simon Grönwald gets hooked up. And Reinhardt now starts on the single buck. He got to get that thing going, though. Grönwald is through and moving on to standing block chop. Big chips getting hanging off that block now as he is pushing hard. Here comes Reinhardt onto the standing block chop. Reinhardt's a big, strong lad as well. Can he get caught up with Grönwald? Nope, it's not going to happen, and that is a time of 59.74 for Simon Grönwald, a new personal best. And I'm telling you, you got to watch out for this guy today. He is super motivated. Olli Reinhardt will get a personal best as well with 1:11.47. Love it. He's not going to like the fact that he's eliminated, but that personal best tells you everything you need to know about the training that these guys have put in to make sure that they're ready for this. And look at that.
Camaraderie, yeah.
Camaraderie is fantastic. Simon Grönwald goes over and immediately shakes the hand of Olli Reinhardt, who he knows is a top competitor.
And the stamina of this guy is not to be underestimated.
Nope.
You know, it's like a long competition, and you got to be fit, and this guy really is fit.
The amazing thing is that Simon was the rookie world champion last year and then competed in his first world trophy last year as well.
Didn't do bad at all.
No, he didn't do bad. He got out, I believe, in the quarterfinals, but he was right there. I mean, you know, he is a guy that you have to really keep a close eye on. But we keep saying that about all these young, talented athletes, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful stuff. 4 heats over, and already the fire is here in Milano. Crowd really having a ball. You could really hear him get into that competition.
Yeah. So this was a great start. Now look at the angle of Simon's bar on that saw. He keeps the motor mid block and just uses, you know, like a torquing action to pull it down here on the underhand chop. Olli Ollie Reinhardt getting in really nice, accurate drivers, really on point. Big chips in the way, though. Now, I called Simon's hits a bit more accurate than that, but you can see it's a bit steppy in there. But you know what? By virtue of the fact that he's hitting that thing at like a 4-to-1 pace, you know, he's not going to be perfectly on point. If he was, that would be even ridiculously faster. So here, Ollie has a bit of trouble starting that saw, but Simon's already more or less 90% through by the time Ollie really gets his rhythm going. And then he just doesn't have a chance against the power of Grunwald as he switches over to the second side of his block here and just takes it down. There's that final driver on the far side of the stage as Ollie Reinhardt moves over to the other side, never giving up. And he definitely wanted to have that time because that's also important for points in the season.
Yeah, and both athletes about 5 seconds faster than the personal best they had before this competition. So that's something both can be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great pictures. Look at the details.
Eccoci qui, now we are live. We are with Simon Grunwald, Poland, and Oliver Reinhardt. Just a quick question for the Swiss athlete, Oliver Reinhardt. What does it mean to compete in such a competition like the Steel Timber Sport World Trophy here in Milano?
Oh, it means the world to me. To be amongst the great athletes that this world has to offer, to give it a shot is all that it is, yeah.
Per me è bellissimo essere qui a Milano, vi voglio sentire fra i migliori del mondo e quindi è un'esperienza fantastica che auguro a tutti. We have seen a great performance of Simon Grunwald. I jump to this side. Simon Grunwald, for you being here in Italy, having this competition, passing the first round, what are the feelings for you, Simon Grunwald?
I'm feeling pretty good because this place is very nice and this is first start today and I am a good race.
Ok, dice che mi sento benissimo qui a Milano, è stata una partenza spettacolare e quindi voglio crescere ancora durante questa manifestazione. Un applauso, big hands to Simon Grunwald and Oliver Reinhardt. Back to the studio, this is Steel Timber Sports World Trophy 2024.
That was nice to see.
Yeah. And Simon's English has improved immensely in the last year. So big shout out to him as well. We were, you know, Ollie is often with Simon because Ollie speaks Polish as well. So the two of them are hanging out quite
Yeah, I think Ollie speaks like 27 languages.
Yeah, I mean,
very talented guy.
Kid's a brilliant guy.
So Matthew Kogar taking on Martin Kalina.
Matthew Kogar, one of 4 athletes in the time trial that had under a minute. He's absolutely motivated to take the top spot this year, and he is considered to be definitely a favorite. Matt Kogar holds the national record, personal best, 54.68. Martin
That's not
Kalina,
too bad.
That's not too bad. Martin Kalina, 1:14.89. Martin Kalina is 37 years of age. Matt Kogar also 37. Both of them about in their 190s as far as height. Matt's a little bit lighter than Kalina. What we've seen today, the adrenaline takes over. Martin Kalina could well get a good time here today. Let's hope so. Hopefully he's got himself a personal best, and we'll see which one of these two guys comes out of this one ahead.
Athletes ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by Matt Kogar. He was quick on the pickup. And you can see that cookie's pretty thick, leaving less material there for the single buck. Martin Kalina, good cut. And he is on the underhand chop, 1 stroke behind Matt Kogar. Kalina looking good right now. He's got to keep that pace up, though, if he wants to keep up with Matt Kogar. He knows he's got a solid competitor on the other side of them. Both of them over to the other side of their blocks at roughly the same time. Wow. Matt Kogar through quickly, though. Kalina still working on that second side. His drivers aren't super powerful, nice and accurate, though, and Kogar is already 3/4 of the way through that single buck, and Kalina has now made it over to the single buck to start his cut, and now Kogar is going to step to the standing block chop and start. Big chip comes off of that there. Kalina now heading over to his standing block chop. Matt Kogar is looking very good. It's looking like it's going to be a very good time. Probably going to be over a minute, though. Oh, maybe not. That's a wiggle and a waggle, and 58.25. That's a pretty solid time for Matt Kogar. And Martin Kalina moving over to the other side of his block. Will he get a personal best time? I'm crossing my fingers for him one way or the other. Oh, a huge skip by the axe there. You got to be careful with those angles. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this time because of that skip. The time really getting that axe back in control takes up a lot of time, believe it or not. 1:20.17 for Martin Kalina. So right now, 1:20.17 is about the second slowest time of our competitors here. And that's an elimination for Martin Kalina, but Matthew Kogar moving on to the next round. So Jack Jordan and Matt Kogar both having under a minute, and Simon Grunwald as well, just shy of a minute 59.40.
Matt Kogar!
The crowd is really into it now.
Yeah.
Love that.
How can you not be? I mean, the excitement of the trophy format, the speed, the intensity, the battle, all of these guys put out there on stage to make sure that they are really good to go and keeping it active. I mean, you can't stop. You have to keep going, you know? It's a battle of life and death out there if you want to move on to the next round, basically, is what it boils down to.
Yeah, Milano is presenting itself in real beauty. The weather is perfect.
Yes, after the rain of the last days, yeah, it's thankfully, you know, some fluffy white clouds up there that aren't looking too threatening, and it's a sunny, warm day. And there you see Kalina getting some nice drivers in, but on the second side of this underhand chop, there was just something that was not quite on point for him. I mean, his accuracy on this first side, okay. On the left side of the block, right side, not so much. Here you see that single buck, but at this point, Matt Kogar leisurely walking over to his standing block chop. And last 2-3 drivers here, I think, for Matt Kogar. You can see it just wiggling and waggling there. You kind of know on these blocks sometimes when they're going to go, and there you can see Kalina. Look how accurate those drivers are from Matt, though. I mean, those walls or those cut edges are smooth. There's no steps at all.
Very smooth.
And as we, you know, as you say, the more accurate you cut, the faster you're going to cut because you're not cutting into new material every single time. So that's a really nice run from Matt Kogar.
He's not rushing himself.
Yeah, he's relaxed. He looks relaxed, but intense at the same time. Yep. You know, there's a certain amount of intensity in there, but just enough to make sure that he's doing what he needs to do in order to get to the next round.
Oh, that is one we've been waiting for. This could be a really special one.
We had discussions about this one. You got your favorite, I've got my favorite. We won't say here, but right now, Emil Hansen's tail of the tape, it belongs to him. But Pierre Puy-Barret is never a guy you should underestimate, ever, ever. He is huge. And we also both noticed that it looks like he's a little bit svelte this year compared to last. He's lost a little bit of weight.
Felt like it, yeah.
That midsection seems a little bit less present, and you know, the power is definitely there.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I wish I had his midsection. Yeah, but Emil Hansen is a really, really good competitor.
He is one of the biggest talents I've seen over the last few years.
No doubt about it. And I mean, his father,
not quite
Hans,
exploded yet, but
no, but I think it's going to come. But his dad, Hans-Ove Hansen, you know, he's got pedigree there. Hans-Ove has been in this sport. You know, it seems like a million years. I remember calling the events 10, 12 years ago, where Hans-Ove Hansen was always in the mix there on the top of the podium, and you know, he has shown what that pedigree can do for his son.
And of course, Puy-Barret having the World Championships this year in Toulouse,
yes,
knows that this is going to be a very important year for him. So maybe that is one of the reasons why he seems to be a bit more edgy, a bit fitter than we've seen him over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, 4-time winner of the national trophy, so he can do it. Let's see if he can do it against Emil Hansen.
3, 2, 1, go!
Good pickup by both of these guys. It looks like a good cut by Puybarret as he is through first. Who's quick over to the block, both at the same time. In sync, look at that. Bing, bang, boom, and they are in sync with each other. Puybarret a little bit faster now, but he got a sticky axe, but so did Emil Hansen. Emil Hansen over to the other side ahead of Puybarret, about 1 stroke ahead now, but will Puybarret be able to catch up? He was deeper on the first side. No, Hansen's got it at the single buck. This is a discipline where he's very good, but so is Puybarret. He's got a big, long reach, so Puybarret could use that saw to his advantage. Emil Hansen really stretching into it, though, using these. Oh! Puybarret is going to have a chance here, but Hansen left one little piece on the end. So now it's 1, 2, 3 strokes, 4 strokes ahead of Puybarret on that standing block chop. So the power of Puybarret has got to come into play now, as Hansen's already on the second side of his block. It looks like Hansen's going to do it. Puybarret isn't even onto the other side yet. He slapped that one out. Some big pieces flying everywhere. Hansen's got a sticky one there, but he's done it. Hansen's done it in 1:05.80, and it's not the fastest time in the world, but it'll do, and it's enough to take out Puybarret, who's still trying to get a time there, and his time is 1:15.25, so slower than his PB, both of these guys, in fact.
But Hansen was not far off his personal best.
Not
he wouldn't
far.
have had those problems at the end.
Not far. It was an interesting situation, though, because both of the guys were on the underhand chop at the same time. So stock saw is moot. Let's knock that one out of the park here. You know, on the underhand chop, both of them were in sync on the first few drivers, and I thought that Hansen went over too early, but he felt confident enough to be able to switch to the other side. Puybarret switched to the other side about 1.5 strokes after Hansen, but was longer finishing the cut, so that was the difference maker there.
So it's Emil Hansen through to the quarterfinals, as we await not only the local hero, but also one of the big favorites. But of course, we've got replays and slow motions coming up.
So you can see both of these guys had a real good start in the stock saw. So basically, this one is a wash. Those cookies dropped essentially at the same time over to the underhand chop. Now, if I'm fair, Puybarret was the faster cut on the stock saw, but between the two of them getting over to that underhand chop, Hansen was faster. They both started at the same time, and we even noticed together they were both in sync for the first 5 or 6 drivers. Difference is that Puybarret took 1 or 2 extra drivers on the first side, and Hansen switched over. And there was that little tab on Hansen's single buck that could have caused problems, but he was adept enough to be able to hold the saw in place and cut that last bit off. It was very small.
Kept his cool.
Yeah, and there the last 2 or 3 drivers for Hansen on that standing block chop to finish it off. And that was a nice run for both these guys, battling really well.
And look at those pictures. Like a postcard. And we can hear the fans
yeah, they're
getting
already
loud
getting
again.
hyped up for our next 2 athletes.
I wonder why.
Could it have to do something with a guy named Andrea Rossi?
It might have, yes. And there he is. This is our heat number 7. It's Michal Dubitsky taking on Andrea Rossi. And Dubitsky is a hard man to beat in this competition. He loves this format.
Yeah, although he's had problems with the muscles in his arms in the last couple of years. We saw him at the European Championship. He had to bow out of I believe he made it to the semifinals, or even maybe it was the quarterfinals. He had to bow out because he had problems with the muscles being torn in his forearms. So hopefully he's healthy, and if he is healthy, he's going to be a real difficult guy to beat. I mean, he's one of those 4 guys that had under a minute times in the time trial. So, yeah. And he is just a powerhouse.
Oh, yes.
But again, that said, you know, the more muscles you got, the more your body has to work to feed those muscles. So,
I know,
it gets tired early. Yeah, gravity's your friend, not mine. Unless we're racing downhill bikes or something. Andrea Rossi, 4-time Italian Pro Champion, 12th place in the World Trophy in 2018 and 2019, so at least he's consistent. Silver medalist, World Trophy 2023, that's Michal Dubitsky, 4-time National Pro Champion, European Trophy Champion 2019 and 2021. Those were those fun years that we were doing everything indoors.
Okay,
Masks
gentlemen.
on.
Yeah, and last year's final.
Warm up your swords.
It was so close.
Oh, yeah. I believe you had second place last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Silver medalist. Correct. That is second place. Silver. Yeah. I'm good like that. I know these things.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very quick start by Andrea Rossi. He's got a lot of support in the audience here. Bit of a thick cookie by both of these guys, and Andrea Rossi starting off pretty much at the same time as Mika Dubitsky on the underhand chop. You can see the pace that Dubitsky's working at. Andrea Rossi right there with him though. Dubitsky to the other side, Rossi to the other side now. Dubitsky not giving up, a bit of a sticky axe 2 times now for Andrea Rossi. Who's going to get through there first? I'm pretty sure it's going to be Dubitsky. He's got to get back up there and make sure he's cut all the way through. That gave a chance for Rossi to catch up, but that second side is really troubling for Rossi as Dubitsky is now on to the single buck. Rossi is solid on single buck though, and Dubitsky's bending that saw pretty significantly, so if Rossi can get in a good flow here, and Dubitsky's got stuck at the bottom and he's finally through, and Rossi may well catch up here as he's going to cut through the bottom of that block and move over to the standing block chop. 1, 2, 3,
loving it.
4 drivers behind Dubitsky. Rossi's solid on the standing block chop. Dubitsky's onto the other side, skips the axe. That's troublesome right there. Rossi over to the other side. Will he be able to catch up to Dubitsky? No, he's not going to do it. Dubitsky's too powerful with that last driver. He is through in a time of 1:11.17. So not super fast, and Rossi is almost there on the second side of his block. He does it in 1:22.28, and the fans were loving the action there.
And so was I.
Me too. That was a nice heat, actually.
Absolutely.
And I thought at one point there where Dubitsky caught that single buck that Rossi was going to have a chance, because Rossi's really good on the single buck, and he was very efficient on that cut, and I thought for sure that he'd catch up, but on that standing block chop, Dubitsky is just super strong. Wait a minute.
We're going to need a review on Dubitsky.
We have a video review on Dubitsky's block here, so we're going to find out.
Must have been the single buck, if you ask me.
Yeah, or it could have been the start, because Dubitsky was pretty quick on the start, but I thought Rossi was faster.
Yeah, same here, but I think on the single buck there might have been an issue.
Let's see if we can see what they're looking at here. Fingers over the line at the start, really? That could be a DQ if he doesn't have his fingers over the line at the start. Uh-oh. Will we see a flag on the play here?
But obviously they've come to a decision.
Yeah, we'll find out at the decision zone here from head judge Andrew Hall.
So we made a video check on stand A. The fingers were not completely over the line at the start. So that's a disqualification.
Oh my goodness.
So the winner is
DQ
Andrea
for
Rossi.
Dubitsky. That means Andrea Rossi goes on to the quarterfinals. Oh, that is a kick in the rear for Dubitsky. That is an unusual mistake for Dubitsky, who is an absolute professional, and he probably just didn't pay attention with all the excitement here that he had a finger behind the line. They have to have all fingers over the line. Oh man, that is a heartbreaker for the big Pole.
Especially with him being in such good shape. So that's a tough one.
It looks like we might have an interview down there with Andrea Rossi after this crazy turn of events here, that he's going to be sent to the quarterfinal because of a DQ.
But this is a good example to see how much technology there is in steel timber sports. So we've got so many cameras, we've got so many referees checking everything is all right, that even these small mistakes are found. And if that's the rules, that's the rules.
So let's head down. I think we are ready with the interview with Andrea Rossi. Oh.
Well, for the moment, we can still see him here finishing the standing block chop.
You can see he was getting tired.
Ecco qui, siamo in diretta, so we are live with Andrea Rossi, qualified for the next round. Andrea, che giornata, ti sei qualificato, ma prima di tutto, cosa significa per te gareggiare qui a Milano davanti a questo pubblico?
Sicuramente è una grande soddisfazione, sono molto contento, ringrazio tutti quelli che sono venuti a vedermi, a sostenermi, grazie e farò del mio meglio.
Grazie, Andrea. He says, for me it's fantastic to compete here in Italy, my home country, and seeing this fantastic audience. I will give the best in the next rounds. Grazie Milano. Allora, chiudiamo in bellezza. Il mondo ci guarda. In alto, le bandiere. Andrea Rossi, sei tutti noi. Oh,
So Carlo also is a very talented singer, as we have just realized.
Yeah, having fun out there. And so it should be. All right, our last heat here in the round of 16, and we are going to see Matthias Klima going up against Jeff Larkin. Matthias coming from the Czech Republic and Jeff Larkin from Canada.
And their personal bests are not far off.
No, they're very close, but Jeff Larkin had a really, really rough time trial. He was quite slow. In fact, I think Jeff was one of the slowest guys in the time trial, and it cost him. Yeah, down in 11th place with 1:13.42. He's definitely faster than that on a regular basis. But we know that Matthias Klima, also a very solid young athlete, and he has got that youth and vinegar on his side, let's say.
Yeah, and a 6th time in the time trials, which is not so bad. Probably gave him some confidence going into this duel.
Yeah.
And I remember last time you said confidence is sometimes the key.
Yeah.
Especially in this competition, so...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, these guys are all so evenly matched up as far as skill level and ability is concerned. Sometimes it really is only your headspace and your confidence that plays the role in whether or not you can take the step to the next level of success, which is what we saw with Red Rick last year.
True.
And he's already improved, and watching the way that he performed today, you could see that. All right, Jeff Larkin representing Canada, stage right. Matthias Klima representing the Czech Republic, stage left, getting ready to go. Here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very quick pickup by Matthias Klima. Jeff Larkin is an expert with the saw in hand, and he is right there with Klima on the cut as he heads over to the underhand chop. He starts a half stroke ahead of Matthias Klima, but Matthias Klima has got that speed on his drivers here. Jeff Larkin, although, look at the speed that he's hitting with. He's moving over to the other side, 2 strokes behind Matthias Klima now, who was first over to the second side of his underhand chop block. Both of these guys looking real good. Klima is through as he heads to the single buck now. Advantage Klima at this point. Jeff Larkin struggling to get through that last bit of hair on the bottom of the block and make it a cut through. He was a bit questionable on whether or not he was actually through there. Matthias Klima now at the bottom 90 percentile of his block. He drops that cookie and he'll move to the standing block chop. Jeff Larkin has a big cookie to bind on that saw, but he's cut real well. Matthias Klima now about 5-6 hits ahead of Larkin as Larkin starts on side 1. Matthias Klima moves over to the second side of his block. Big chips flying away from the block of the young Czech. Jeff Larkin over to the other side, and Matthias Klima finishes it in 1:06.61. That's unofficial time at the moment, so all things considered, without any DQs, Matthias Klima has won this one, and Jeff Larkin is eliminated from play.
And he's won it in style. Not bad at all.
Matthias with the bronze medal at the European Trophy 23, winner of the Czech Trophy 23, rookie European champion 21, so he's been making his way up there.
Yeah, and he's only 25, so...
Jeff Larkin, 4th place in the National Trophy for Canada, 22 and 23. All right, so our quarterfinal heats are set up, and it is looking scary.
And the winner is Matthias Klima.
Disappointment for Jeff Larkin. He did the best he could there. He has had faster cuts. But Matthias Klima moving on to the quarterfinal.
What a beautiful day here in Milano.
So you could see here, Matthias was real quick on that cut, but look how thin the cookie is for Jeff Larkin. Beautiful, and he did a great job with that thin cookie to catch up with Matthias. That's a little bit of strategy there. Moving over to the other side, he was about 2 strokes behind Matthias as he moved over to the other side, but it was that second side that just caused problems for Jeff. Otherwise, he definitely would have been there right along the way with Matthias. Matthias getting over to that single buck. Now, Matthias is really struggling on the single buck here. You can see he's moving it smoothly through the block, but it almost looks like he's binding every stroke, you know? And I mean, theoretically speaking, you should be able to move that single buck with one hand back and forth through the block. It'll go slowly, but it'll cut. Yeah, that's the key for that single buck, is just really having a nice, smooth, relaxed flow, you know, not forcing it or anything like that. Jeff really working hard on that second side of the block. Matthias was already finished as Jeff moved over to the second side of his block. And that was a very nice, clean finish by Matthias Klima with a bullet there. And of course, our stage crew doing a fantastic job. Maybe we can get some visuals of the stage crew up there, because they play such an important role for the safety of our athletes. You know, all of the stuff that's dropped onto the stage, from cutting and chopping and sawing, it can be a dangerous scene up there. It's almost like a minefield if you're not careful. So let's take a look at what's going on here.
Oh yeah. So the quarterfinals, consisting of Jack Jordan taking on Ferry Svan. We've got Brad DeLosa against Shimon Grunwald.
That should be interesting.
Matthew Koga taking on Emil Hansen.
Oh my goodness.
And last but not least, the home crowd love man, Andrea Rossi against Matthias Klima.
Those are 4 incredibly difficult heats for all of the guys that are in there. Jack Jordan, you know he's strong. He's been rocking and rolling all day long. Ferry Svan, he's happy, he's relaxed, he's motivated. He's going to push Jack Jordan for every centimeter of wood. Brad DeLosa against Simon Grunwald. The ages battle here.
Wow.
Yeah, the young man at 18 years old going up against the 40-year-old Brad DeLosa. Maybe I made him a little bit older than he actually is, but he's been around the sport forever. So yeah, it's going to be interesting couple of first heats there.
And off we go, quarterfinal number 1 between New Zealand's Jack Jordan and Sweden's Ferry Svan.
Oh my goodness. The electricity is intense in the air. And there's a great fan block of Swedish fans wearing the yellow Swedish jerseys. And I do believe Ferry Svan's mom is in the mix there. And there's somebody holding up a flag with the yellow cross.
One, right?
Feel the axe on. It's great. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's our kind of humor.
Yeah, dad jokes.
Absolutely. Milano Congressi, Bella Italia. The weather is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
It's still warm, it's still sunny, but our athletes, they have some nice shade there.
Okay, gentlemen, Olympic is yours.
And we are ready to rock and roll in this quarterfinal. And I just love this knockout competition. Doesn't matter what time you have, you just have to be faster than your opponent.
Yep, that's the best part about this racing. That's making it so exciting.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Who's going to make it to the semis?
Oh, dead even start by both of these guys. Jack Jordan and Ferry Swan looking good. Cookies drop almost at the same time. Ferry quick to the block. Jack Jordan and Ferry hitting at the same pace now. Ferry picking up the pace a little bit. Jack Jordan already. Oh, wow. Jack Jordan quick to the other side, but Ferry Swan right there to join him along the way. Ferry Swan shipping out some massive pieces. Could it be a close one here between these two? Ferry Swan almost through. He's got to step back up and get clean through. Jordan a sticky single buck to get it going. Ferry Swan is excellent on single buck. This could be a difference maker here.
Wow.
Look at Ferry Swan go. He's going to catch up with Jordan, and they might drop these cookies at the same time. Oh, they do.
Can
over to the
you
standing
believe
block
it?
chop. This could be a very close one.
What's going on?
Could this be the upset of the day? Jack Jordan going up against Ferry Swan. Ferry Swan on the first side. Jack Jordan now moving over to the second side. Ferry Swan 2 strokes behind Jack Jordan as he moves over to the second side. Is it going to be Jack Jordan? Is it going to be Ferry Swan? It's going to be Jack Jordan, and he'll step to the semifinals after just winning by a hair. Oh, maybe not. It was a 2-stroke difference there by Ferry Swan just from behind. Wow, what a heat that was, though, right up until the end. How intense is that, folks?
Oh, I can't wait for the slow-mos.
I don't think they'll count as slow-mos, actually.
Yeah. That was great stuff. How good was that?
Yeah, that was a great battle. I'm waving frantically out the window at my wife and son who just arrived.
And the winner is Jack Jordan.
All right, so Jack Jordan under a minute again. One more step towards a three-peat. Ferry Swan, he kept him honest throughout this whole heat. Jack Jordan knew he had a battle on his hands with Ferry Swan. Look at this. These guys started stock saw at the same time. So again, this situation, you can throw this one out the window. Look at the intensity on Jack Jordan's face there. Heading over here, Ferry Swan was actually quicker to get that axe moving into the block, and then the pace that he is
so
hitting
fast, and he moves like a cat.
Yeah. And this is what I was saying. There's some big guys out there that have that skill level to move really quickly and easily. And it was Jack Jordan. I mean, I was surprised how quickly Jordan moved over to the other side of his block. He was very quick.
Very
it's
early,
like
very early.
4 or 5 hits and then switched over. Ferry took 2 extra there. I don't know if that was maybe the best idea, but Ferry's got his routine set up. Now here, Ferry Swan actually did a really good job of catching up. You can see how thick that cookie is there for Jack Jordan. It almost peeled off. And Ferry Swan had the thinner cookie, so he was faster by just a hair. But moving over to the standing block chop, there was just way too much power for Jack Jordan. On that second side, Jack was 2.5 strokes ahead of Ferry Swan. And here you can see these last 2 drivers was just the nail in the coffin, literally, of Ferry Swan's hopes of moving on to the semifinals. So Jack Jordan, just a solid competitor here.
Yeah, but Ferry kept his dreams alive for quite a long time.
He did, you know. And this is one of those things where you see Ferry Swan. We talked about him earlier. There's always been this little tick that hasn't really clicked for him, and I think this year that tick is gone. You know, he looked relaxed. He looked very happy about the whole situation, more or less healthy. You know, and he came in here and he showed that when he's in that condition, he's a force to be reckoned with.
And what about this heat, man?
Well, geez.
Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah.
Brad DeLosa taking on the youngster Simon Grunwald.
This is going to be very interesting because DeLosa's national record time of 57.59. Simon Grunwald at 18 years old with a personal best 59.40. I mean, that's
crazy.
madness. So Grunwald is going to be running on pure adrenaline in this one. But the problem for Brad DeLosa here is that pure adrenaline is accompanied by a significant amount of skill.
That's true. He's only 18 years old. We keep forgetting because he's been competing so much.
Crazy.
But the talent of this man, I mean, and the physicality is...
Rookie world champion last year, competed in the trophy last year, and now competing in the trophy this year, looking for a chance to get to the semifinals. And he learned a lot at the European trophy as well. He got knocked out in the quarterfinals, but we thought he was going to go the distance there.
Let's see how he can cope with the pressure.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your scores.
He seems cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. And that's also a scary prospect, you know?
Very scary indeed.
Brad DeLosa, after that
Athletes,
debut of
ready.
skis, checking his fingers closely.
Timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start by DeLosa. He was quick on that saw. Simon Grunwald right there with them. Cookies drop roughly at the same time. Grunwald over now to the underhand chop. The underhand chop looking good for both of these guys. Grunwald chipping out big. And who's going to go over to the other side first? It's going to be at the same time. Oh, wow. Both of them moving over to the other side. And the pace increases for Simon Grunwald and Brad DeLosa. Incredible heat here so far. Simon Grunwald with the advantage as he goes over to the single buck. But you know, Brad DeLosa is an absolute master in this discipline. Grunwald gets a little bit of a hookup. Brad DeLosa's got the flow going right away. Simon Grunwald looking very good here. It could come down to the single bar, the standing block chop, excuse me. 1, 2 strokes ahead as they get going on the standing block chop. Could be that we see an unseating of a champion here. Grunwald on the second side, Brad DeLosa on the second side. Who's going to get there? Brad DeLosa's getting close, and it looks like it's going to be DeLosa! Oh, just by a hair! And Simon Grunwald, 2.5 drivers behind DeLosa, ever so close. And DeLosa is absolutely busted after that heat because he could feel on the back of his head that Simon Grunwald was crawling up his back.
Of course he could, yes.
Unbelievable heat there between those two guys. Fantastic.
What a legend. What a legend.
And again, Simon Grunwald, what a gentleman. Immediately heads over there. Even after losing that heat, he knows he's gone up against a legend, and he held him to the very last second. Unbelievable heat by that young man, though, and you know he is going to be a legend in his own right very, very soon.
Yeah, he's probably happy he was competing against him this year, not next year or in 2 years. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, his abilities are only going to get better as he starts to figure things out and get a feel for the axes and really play with all of those little nuances that make you that much better as you improve and progress.
But how cool is Brad DeLosa?
Yeah, last year in Stuttgart, he and the Chaperoos.
Brad DeLosa.
Championship again, and Brad DeLosa has been the individual world champion in the past, so this man is absolutely one of the legendary figures in timber sports, and a guy that a lot of the other athletes turn to for help, you know? I mean, like I said, there's a lot of guys that go down and train with Brad DeLosa in the off-season, and he makes sure that they get the best of training from him. Look at this, though. Both of these guys just absolutely motoring through this heat. Simon Grunwald had 2 drivers into that block before Brad DeLosa had his first, so he was quick. DeLosa moving gingerly over to that single buck. Now, DeLosa here knows he's a super single buck sawyer, yeah? So if you single saw the way he does, then you know you can pace yourself a little bit and then get to where you need to get to on that standing block chop. And he did exactly that. And there are the last 2 drivers from Brad DeLosa as Simon Grunwald did his best. And a couple of sticky axes by Simon there was really the difference maker. Otherwise, it would have gone down. You can see that one little thread just holding on to that block. Wow, what a heat that was.
And it must be such a great feeling to compete against one of the sport's legends and to, you know, really go almost all the way.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it.
Brad, so focused.
Yeah, Simon as well, hey?
Yeah. He's only 18, I can't stop mentioning it.
Yeah, but I mean, Camille van Reemdonk is 17 years old, and he pushed all the guys that he was competing against today to the very limit.
That's another interesting one.
Yes.
Matthew Koga taking on Emil Hansen.
So, will the Viking do it? Matt Kogar is aiming for that top spot on the podium this year. He is highly, highly, highly motivated. He knows he can get there. And at this point in time right now, we have like the trajectory is Matt Kogar and Jack Jordan kind of heading towards each other. But
this is
big but.
This is World Trophy.
Yeah. All number of things can happen, and right now, that man, Emil Hansson, is going to be focused on getting through this as quickly as he can. Now, Emil is an excellent single sawyer. We know that Matt is also very good. If Emil falls behind a little bit but can keep within reach of Matt by the time they get to that single saw, he has an opportunity to take over and then do some damage on the standing block chop. But that
okay, gentlemen,
still remains to be seen.
Oh
my goodness. That saw is very close to that block. Hopefully he doesn't chip it on the way up.
Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very nice start. Thin block for Emil Hansson. Both of them, oh yeah, right up there on the underhand chop at the same time, in sync with each other. Very nice hits. Drivers are looking good, chipping out nicely. Oh, sticky axe, but they're both over to the other side at the same time. Emil Hansson keeping it honest out there for Matt Kogar. Matt Kogar is through. Emil Hansson's got to step up, and there, it's one driver back and a step down. Now here is what I talked about. This is an opportunity for Emil Hansson to have a really good single saw, and it's looking like he's going to do it.
Oh, yes.
Matt Kogar is there, but Emil Hansson is now caught up, and both of them are on the standing block drop at the same time. This could be very exciting between these two guys. Matt Kogar moving over to the other side. One driver ahead of Emil Hansson. Emil Hansson looking good. He's got the power. Matt Kogar is through almost. It's going to be close here. It's going to be Matt Kogar. It's going to be Matt Kogar by one driver. And Emil Hansson one hit behind Matt Kogar. How close was that? And it came down to what I said on that single saw. Man, that kept it exciting.
Unbelievable scenes here. And great personal best for Emil Hansson. 4 seconds better than he's been doing this before, and yeah, Kogar staying under a minute. That's all we used to.
Again, I mean, he is just so consistently under a minute, but that's a great personal best by Emil Hansson, and that again shows that improvement, but also that adrenaline rush that you get when you know you're going up against another guy that could potentially change your season around by beating him, and he did a great job to keep up with Matt Kogar. Look at it this way, no step down, one extra driver there, and he's faster than Matt Kogar. That was a good heat though, very, very good heat by both these guys, very exciting.
Very enjoyable indeed.
Yeah.
And of course the quarterfinal is not over yet. Hopefully we're gonna get another nice pack of replays. Taking a look at the slow motions of that fascinating duel that we've just seen between Matt Kogar and Emil Hansson.
So watch here as Emil gets through this block fairly quickly. Matt dropped his about one driver faster than Emil, but Emil stepped down and then he had to step back up to re-secure himself. But here was the difference maker for Emil. Emil's so good on that single buck, and he trains a lot with his dad, who is absolutely fantastic single sawyer. And this was really, both of these guys were on pace with each other, and it was one driver difference. Watch this. There goes the block for Matt, and there goes the block for Emil Hansson. Wow, what a heat that was. Absolutely fantastic.
These guys work with so much precision. That's fascinating. One more hit. Troy.
Yeah, then we get into the semifinals, which should be super, super interesting.
So either Andrea or Matthias in the semifinals. That's a bit of pressure for the both of them.
Can you imagine how bananas this audience is going to be if Andrea Rossi manages to beat the young gun from the Czech Republic? It could be it. It could be it.
I'd love to see it. I mean, best of luck for Matthias, but imagine Andrea getting to the semis.
Well, after so many years, 15 years of competing in timber sports, you know, it would be just desserts for him to get to that position, and especially against a young guy like Matthias Klima, who's got a future of timber sports ahead of him. I'm sure that Matthias wouldn't begrudge him that position, but he's not going to let him go down easy.
No way. He's a competitor.
There's no toilet flushing going on here just for the sake of cleaning the water and changing the water, you know?
Very true. Oh, wow. What a day. Already saw some great competitors at the Steel Timber Sports Rookie World Championship on that stage, but what we're getting to see now is just crazy.
Oh man, I just love this format. The excitement level is just through the roof with this format, the trophy format. And the World Trophy just brings out the best in everybody. It brings out the best audiences, the best athletes, and it just makes it so fun to commentate. It is rock and roll pure.
So there's that infamous blue line.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber.
The infamous blue line.
1, go!
Wow, great start, great start.
Matthias Klima was a little bit quicker on the start with that saw, but...
Oh, he forgot the glasses, he forgot the glasses.
A little bit of a flub. That's okay. Rossi needs the glasses. He can keep the glasses on because they're prescription.
Okay.
He's got them tied onto the back of his head for that very reason. So that's not it's not a situation where he can get DQ'd or anything like that. Matthias Klima over to the other side of his block quickly, though, and working through that second side. It looks like he is through and heading over to the single buck. Rossi got a bit of work cut out for him here on that second side. It looks like he might have hit a knot or something, and now he's moving over to the single buck. Rossi knows this discipline, though, as he is a very good single sawyer. Could he catch up with Matthias Klima? Matthias is rocking that saw a little bit, so he's a bit slow there. Rossi doing his best to catch up, and he's got the audience in his back now. Rossi moving over to the standing block top. Matthias is about 6 to 7 strokes ahead of Rossi and moving over to the other side now. Matthias Klima with a distinct advantage on that standing block chop. Rossi moving over to the other side. Both of these guys getting tired, but you can see the fatigue on Rossi, and Matthias Klima drops it in 1:07.99 unofficial. Matthias is going to take this one, barring any DQ. I don't think it'll be a problem. And Rossi, you can see, is tired now as that final axe driver gets him the time done in 1:29.9.
Still looked like he had a great time out there. Look at the fans waving the Italian flags.
Yeah, they love him, and that's all the way it should be. So we're just going to get the guys down in the decision zone here for the final call from our head judge, Andrew Hall. And I do believe that Carlos is going to head on stage and get another interview here. But first and foremost is the decision zone at the front of the stage, right close to the audience that are definitely behind Andrea Rossi in this
heat. The winner is Matthias Klima.
All right, let's take a second here to have a look at the slow-mos as the crowd give one last roaring round of applause to Andrea Rossi as he heads back onto the stage, and the pit crew, as it were, is cleaning up the stage. Here we go with that stock saw. Really nice cut from both of these guys. Matthias was a hair faster, but then you can see he stumbled a little bit getting over to the underhand, and then second side of the underhand chop here, he cut through, stepped down, and went over. Luckily, that was a nice clean cut through, so no drama there. Andrea Rossi getting through, but he was pretty far behind. As I said, Andrea is really solid on the single saw here, and he did come pretty close to catching up with Matthias Klima, who you can see is pushing hard to try and drive that saw through there, and here. Andrea moving over to the second side of his block, and Maciej Klima very close to chopping his off right there. And that was that. That's all she wrote for Andrea Rossi on his day, but making it to the quarterfinal is definitely a nice way to end the weekend.
Oh, that's just beautiful pictures we're getting to see here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here. Siamo dal vivo, intervista con Andrea Rossi. Allora, Andrea Rossi, è andata meglio di quanto tu pensassi? Perché hai detto l'ultima notte non hai dormito, pensavi di uscire subito contro Dubitsky, invece è andata bene, dai.
Sì, no, il fatto che essendoci ieri il time trail avevo puntato tutto sulla prova di ieri, poi chiaramente quando ci sono queste gare l'adrenalina è a manetta e di notte fai fatica a dormire, quindi oggi non ero proprio... Poi insomma, le gare sono così. Io quello che avevo detto è che la fortuna con me era in debito di parecchio e quindi questa sera ho avuto qualcosa che mi mancava.
Grande Andrea Rossi, grande Andrea Rossi. He just said last night I have some troubles to fall asleep knowing that I will compete against Dubitsky, and so that's the way it is. But I get one round through, so I had good credit with good luck, so this time it was in my favor. Grande Andrea Rossi, tutti quanti con la bandiera. Italia, ecco qui, grazie Andrea Rossi.
Fantastic scenes there with Andrea Rossi celebrating with his audience. They really are his audience. They were behind him every step of the way. I love the fact that he mentioned that he had trouble sleeping the night before because he knew he was going up against Mika Dubitsky.
Understandably. I couldn't sleep knowing that I'd be standing next to you.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. We're pals, man.
So look at the semi-finals.
Oy, oy, oy.
Jack Jordan against Brad DeLosa. That is a classic, you could say. And then Matthew Koga taking on Maciej Klima.
I mean, what a result for Maciej Klima, hey?
Bravo.
Worst case scenario for Maciej Klima. He'll have 4th place today. He got 10th place last year. So that's a massive, massive, massive jump up in his level. And big congratulations to him no matter what.
There's no time to relax because semi-final #1 coming up. Jack Jordan, the defending champion, against the living legend, Brad DeLosa.
Tough battle here, though, eh?
Oh,
tough battle. And you know, they like each other, but there's a certain amount of that Australia-New Zealand battle mentality that's going to be going on against these two guys, right?
But Jack Jordan is that kind of guy who just, I don't know, seems to be like an iceman. I've never seen him crack under pressure.
Yeah.
He's won the last 2 competitions with style.
Yeah, but I don't think he's ever gone up against Brad DeLosa at this stage of the competition.
That's very true.
So that might start playing a little bit in his brain pan. So we'll see who holds it together the best.
And Brad has nothing to lose.
No, Brad has absolutely nothing to lose. He's got nothing to prove to anybody. This would be like playing with house money for him, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some nervousness from Jack Jordan right now.
Okay, gentlemen.
Just exhaling.
Warwick and Swords.
They've had the time trials, they had the round of 16, they had the quarterfinals. So for the 4th time today.
3, 2, 1, go!
Dead even start by both of these guys. That is some skill right there. Jack Jordan a little bit faster on that stock saw. Will it make a difference here on the underhand chop? He's got a quick pace on the underhand chop. Brad DeLosa right there with him though. Over to the other side, in sync with each other. Boy, this could be a Rockettes to music if we really wanted to make it work that way. Jordan's through ahead of DeLosa. DeLosa's got a hair hanging on, but this is where DeLosa could really take advantage of Jack Jordan. DeLosa on that single buck is so solid. Jack Jordan a little bit choppy, short strokes, and DeLosa has caught up with him almost. Half a stroke is all it is separating these two guys on the standing block chop. This is a close battle. DeLosa over to the other side of his block ahead of Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan has a huge slap that came out of his block that could be a big advantage for Jordan. He slips through. Is it going to be? Oh! Again, another close one between those two guys. Oh my goodness, 57.85 for Jordan and 58 and change, 58.53 for Brad DeLosa. Let's see what it comes down to when they make the camera and competition control center adjustments.
You must be kidding me.
Oh my goodness, another monumentally close battle. Holy smokes, folks! 57.65 for Jordan, 57.97 for DeLosa. That's about the second closest heat we've had all day long. And that means Jordan is going to do it, move on to the final. So it's going to come down to see who will go up against Brad DeLosa in that small final, Matt Kogar or Maciej Klima. Wow, wow, wow.
What a fight.
And the winner is Jack Jordan.
So Jordan has done it. He's got himself into his third final in 3 years. The team comes up onto stage and we will set the stage up for heat number 14, or the second heat in the semifinal today, as we look back at some of the action from this epic battle between New Zealand and Australia. Absolutely fantastic. There's Jordan pushing through. Look at the intensity on Jack's face right there as he works that single saw. He knew he had to be solid on that single saw because of the quality of single sawyer that Brad DeLosa is. And Brad DeLosa was actually over to the other side first, but Jack Jordan, look at that, sweep through. And just there, holy moly, that was ever so close. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
But you could see that big slab that came off that one side, so that made the cut through a little bit easier for Jordan, I would say. But what a battle of a couple of absolutely monumentally good timber sports athletes. I mean, these two guys epitomize what it is to be timber sports, the young and the old, as it were.
True.
Okay, speaking of epitomizing timber sports, this should be a good one too. And again, lots of action on stage with this fantastic cleanup crew to make sure that it is pristine and safe for our athletes. Nothing in the way that could slip on or have problems with here.
And good, so these are the semi-finals that we're getting to see. Jack Jordan already making it to the big final as we await Matthew Kogar and Maciej Klima.
And here they come. Maciej Klima in the white jersey on stage right, and Matt Kogar in the red jersey on stage left.
So on paper, this should be a clear thing for Matthew Kogar with a personal best of 54.68.
You can light that paper on fire with a stick of dynamite at this point, the way that Maciej Klima has been performing. Yeah, I mean, tail of the tape absolutely belongs to Matt Kogar. He's been significantly strong all day long. He hasn't had a single heat where he has been over a minute. He's been always under a minute. Maciej Klima has his work cut out for him. But you know what? When you get to this point and you think, hey, I got fourth place locked up, worst case scenario, it's the same situation as with Brad DeLosa. There's nothing really for him to lose other than just to go for it. He can put it all out there and enjoy this heat against a guy that he knows is an absolutely solid competitor.
It's the World Trophy format. That means everything and anything is always possible. And we've seen it happen.
Yes, we have. I mean, look what happened with Dubitsky earlier. DQ because one finger wasn't over the line. So those small details are what really make a difference for these guys, right?
And that means you have to stay focused all the way.
And you also have to watch out for those false starts as well.
2, 1, go!
Good start by Klima and Kogar, both of them looking good. Klima is very good with this saw. Nice even start, heading to the underhand chop starting for both of these guys, right in sync with each other. Klima looking good, and he is going to keep up with Matt Kogar. Klima moving over to the other side, 2 strokes ahead of Kogar. Will he get through that block ahead of Kogar? Uh-oh, we got a problem with Matt Kogar there as he stopped chopping for whatever reason. Klima is continuing on, and he is going towards the single buck.
The saw is still on.
Oh, the saw is still on. That means it's going to be a DQ for him, and you called it. You called it. Unbelievable. He needed to turn off that saw, otherwise it counts as a DQ, and that means Matthias Klima is going to go to the final against Jack Jordan. Oh my God, what a crazy turn of events here for Matt Kogar.
Ferry Swan last year.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh my word.
What a madhouse situation, and you can see now Matt Kogar is absolutely angry with himself. He's going to finish this heat, but he knows exactly what's going to happen. Matthias Klima now can just relax, save a little bit of energy, because I think he also knows what's happened as well, and he is going to go to that stage and move on to the next round into the final, and he knows it exactly because he knew once he went back over for that single buck and saw that saw running. That is a crazy event, and there goes the flag with a bit of style in the air from Andy Hall and Matt Kogar.
Talk about surprises.
Absolutely surprising, but you called it. You absolutely called it. Anything and everything can happen here, Floaty, and we just witnessed that here. It's your fault, buddy. You jinxed him. I'm going to tell on you.
Please don't tell him. Please don't tell him.
Oh, my goodness. I really feel bad for Matt Kogar. He must be absolutely gutted because that was an uncommon mistake for him.
And you can talk to Ferry Swan about this, who had the same problem last year.
Yeah, or, you know, plenty of other athletes who wanted to put down the saw. It happened to Danny Martin. He put down the saw, it fell over on its side as well. So
we have disqualification for not turning the chainsaw off before starting the next discipline. So the winner is Matthias Klima.
Wow, Matthias Klima's first final, and who's he going up against? Jack Jordan. That is madness right there. Madness.
And Matthias has not been under a minute today.
Nope.
And he's reached the final. That's crazy. Yeah, gotta be at the right place at the right time.
Let's see what happened here. So normally you gotta tag that switch on the way down, chain brake and everything. When you, we don't get to see it unfortunately, but yeah, the saw was left running. You could see it dancing around on the stage, and yeah, it was during the underhand chop that Matt stopped and he went and looked over. Wait, let's see if we see it here. No, he finished the chop here, and he knew, and he just basically strolled. He knew he didn't have to bother hurting himself or wasting energy. He's going to have a DQ. He's going to fight in the small final for position 3 or 4. And I think at this point it was Matt just getting the anger out on the blocks to finish up that heat. I mean, that is just that is a gutsy performance by Matt Kogar. It's unfair, but that's just the way it is. You know, it's a small minor mistake, and those things can happen. And he was on a collision course with Jack Jordan, and unfortunately this time it's not going to work out. But big congratulations to Matthias Klima. He's been lucky to be good and good to be lucky all day long. So he's going to get himself into the finals. And now, worst case scenario for Matthias Klima is second place. He's going to have a silver medal. Worst case. Worst case. Maybe Matthias is using like telekinesis or something to mess with the other guys. I don't know. It's a tough call. So stage is ready. There's a lot of staff discussions going on stage right now to make sure that everything is absolutely prepared. They're doing a block change on the 2 big blocks there. So with 2 heats still to come, they need some fresh blocks up there, and that gives these guys a chance to get the stage set up. It's actually part of the rule book where between the semifinals and the finals, there needs to be a little bit of a longer break in order to give these guys a chance to get a little bit of breathing, you know, refresh themselves. You know,
so tough to compete.
Absolutely makes sense. And if we take a look at the finals here, let me just get my mouse. Come on, boy. There we go. So in our small final, we got Brad DeLosa going up against Matthew Kogar.
How about that for a bronze medal?
Matthew Kogar and Brad DeLosa in a small final. I mean, that's a world championship final in any other time of the year, right? Unbelievable situations here that have been happening. I mean,
great for us. Great for the audience.
Absolutely fantastic for us in the audience, because it just keeps that excitement rolling and tells you exactly what this trophy format is really all about. Surprises, and that's what we're seeing today.
A lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So who do we got here? Final, Jack Jordan up against Matthias Klima. And as we mentioned, Matthias Klima will have
a clear favorite in that final.
Worst case scenario. Yeah, the clear favorite is definitely Jack Jordan. I mean, he's been under a minute all day long. He's been consistent all day long.
And he's been winning and winning in this format. So
yeah, this is absolutely his format. He's big, he's strong, he's got the endurance. He knows exactly what he needs to do out there. The guy is unstoppable. But, you know, Matthias Klima using those really crazy brainwaves might be messing with them a little bit. So we'll see what happens when those two guys get up for the final.
And hopefully we're going to see all these guys in Toulouse this year, because the World Championship is going to be in France. And we're so ready for that. And just to give you a bit of a feel how that's going to be, let's take a look at the next clip we're going to show you.
I love the juxtaposition of the music there, hey?
It's a shame that the audience didn't see us dance, but there's another good reason for some dancing. It's the competitions that we're going to be streaming live in 2024. As you can see today, we've had the Rookie World Championship and, of course, the World Trophy that is going into the small final and the big final.
So far, this day's been fantastic.
And in June, it's going to be the British Championships on the 15th and the 16th of June.
Yep, live stream from Malvern in Great Britain. Also,
sorry. No, go ahead.
The U.S. Championships in Milwaukee, USA, the 26th, 28th of July.
French Championships coming up in Saint-Gaudens on the 21st of September. Practice pronouncing that one.
29th of September, we're going to have the European Trophy, so the European version of what we got going on today, where all the European athletes try and gain points for next year's World Trophy. And of course,
in November, the Team World Championship in Toulouse on the 8th of November.
The question is, will Australia be able to five-peat, or is another team going to come in and take it away from them?
And on the 9th of November,
the World Championships and individual World Championships also from Toulouse. It's going to be an exciting season. We got a lot of action coming your way. So make sure you stay tuned to all the different Timber Sports channels.
Don't miss any of them.
Don't miss any of them. And if you want to get involved in the conversations, there's also hashtag
Kiss My Axe.
Kiss My Axe, which I really like. And, of course, Steel Timber Sports. So get involved in the conversation. If you're at an event, take pictures, post them, enjoy. And if you're not in an event, and if you want to find out a little bit more, there's
still take pictures and post them.
Still take pictures and post them. Just be nice about it, folks. All right.
And, of course, we've got some information from our partners coming up as well.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sure you're going to enjoy that.
right, so there's the American flag in honor of that man right there, who for his headspace would want to be in the next set of heats and not this one, but he's got to battle through it nevertheless. Brad DeLosa going up against Matt Kogar in this small final. So this is for positions 3 and 4 in the competition, and we predicted earlier on that Matthias Klima would be in this one, worst case scenario, but a small faux pas by Matt Kogar has him going up against Brad DeLosa.
And this might have made him angry.
You think?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to say most definitely. The problem is now, knowing that he's going up against Brad DeLosa, that man right there, a legend in the sport, does that anger work for him, or does that hinder his performance? Now, I suspect, knowing Matt Kogar and the way that we've seen him perform in years past, that that is going to light a fire under his butt and make him perform even better in this small final. So, yeah, Brad DeLosa is going to have his work cut out for him, but the legend that DeLosa is, he knows exactly what he needs to do, and he's going to be calm, cool, and collected about it as always.
What about fitness, Troy? What do you think?
Well, that's a tough call. Both of these guys are so fit. I mean, Matt Kogar, he's got the age advantage, definitely, against Brad DeLosa, but Brad DeLosa is a guy that just never seems to age. Yeah, he gets a little bit of gray hair, but he still looks good. He's still fit, you know. In fact, I think he might even be more fit in the last 2 seasons that we've seen him than we've seen him in years past. So he's taking good care of himself.
We know from the past that the further we get in the tournament, the slower the times get normally.
Normally,
with
but
a few exceptions.
That's not what we're seeing with Matt.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Holy moly.
Great start by both of these guys. Matt making a fat cut to try and make sure he's got thin. Uh-oh. He really made sure that that machine was off this time, but that gave the advantage to Brad DeLosa as he headed over to that underhand chop. But Matt Kogar cutting hard and fast, moving over to the other side of that underhand chop, about 2 drivers behind Brad DeLosa, and he's actually managed to get through it faster than DeLosa, but now DeLosa's going to have to work on that single buck to catch up with Matt Kogar, and I would say these guys are both really evenly matched on the single saw. Matt Kogar looking good as he is almost at the bottom. Big bow on that misery whip. He gets through it though, and Matt moved over to the standing block chop, so I'm going to say he's taken that anger out from that earlier round on these blocks right now, as both of them move over to the second side of their standing block chop at exactly the same time. It's hit for both of these guys. Who's going to drop it first and take 3rd place? It's going to be Matt Kogar. Matt Kogar takes 3rd place in the competition. He will be your bronze medalist, and barring any DQ because something's running or dropped or missing on stage.
No yellow flags.
No yellow flags, and that was an amazing heat there. Congratulations to Matt Kogar. He took adversity and managed to get a medal out of it, and Brad DeLosa, with nothing to prove to anybody in the world of timber sports, takes 4th place of the competition today. Great heat between these 2 guys, both legendary athletes.
Full respect. That was great.
That was some clean run. And interestingly enough, Matt actually stopped. He was stretching back to turn off his saw to make sure when he went over to the underhand to make sure that he was safe in that heat. Great job by both of these guys. So I feel bad. I feel so bad for Matt Kogar because
he was a big contender for
he was on pace to go up against Jack Jordan.
Matt Kogar.
And I would have loved to have seen that, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, literally in this case. And Matt Kogar will take 3rd place in the competition today. Well deserved. Let's look at this again here in the slow-mos. Brad DeLosa and Matt Kogar both getting really quickly onto that stock saw cut. And you can see here, Matt, a little sticky there, but he was quick. He went over to the other side, and he was just not having any of it from this block, you know? Bad block, bad block.
Bad block.
Exactly. Yeah. Bad block and Mad Matt. That's going to be his new name, Mad Matt. And there you see Delosa getting through, but Matt Kogar, he is also an excellent single sawyer. Right there, though, he got a little bit of a sticky bow and managed to cut it off. He was not that far ahead of Brad Delosa here, though. And Delosa was keeping him honest, that's for sure. And here comes those last couple of drivers by Matt Kogar. Beautiful, and so accurate on those hits as well. So like we say, accurate is fast in chopping. And I think he's more or less relieved there, but also, you know, he's going to be replaying that situation in his head. How can I get off that saw in the future and not have to deal with that situation, yeah?
Ever again, yeah.
Watch here. There's that last driver for Matt Kogar, and I think it was only one more after that by Brad Delosa. Wow. Just fantastic visuals here from our camera crew. Very, very nice.
And here we go. We are ready for the big final here at the Steel Timber Sports World Trophy 2024 in Milano.
This was the unexpected heat of the day.
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys, yeah, sure, Jack Jordan, Matthias Klima, not so much. But you know what? Happy to see him there. By luck of the draw or by luck of what happened out there, Matthias Klima gets an opportunity now to show why he is where he is and what he's able to do. You can see the tail of the tape definitely has the advantage going to Jack Jordan. But like we said with Red Knoll last year, that little push forward, small mistake by somebody else, and that could be the confidence boost that you need to really take your game to the next level. Will that be the case here for Matthias Klima? Could we have a massive upset? Anything is possible. You called it before that semifinal
I'm not saying
heat,
anything
and
now.
now you're not allowed to say anything because you're going to blast it out of.
But he's made it to the final. Let's just
he's made it to the final, and he and we can enjoy this final no matter what happens with either of these guys on stage. This will be an exciting heat for both of them.
And that, of course, might be something that Jack is thinking about.
Yeah.
How did he make it to the final? You know?
Yeah.
It's so easy to make a mistake or two.
I don't think you can overthink it too much, though. Matthias is here. He's going to enjoy this moment no matter what. He's going to go home.
And he should. And
at the worst case with a silver medal. And if he's really lucky and really goes for it, he might have the gold today. We're going to cross our fingers for a good heat for both of these guys and for our audience. And here we go. It's the final heat here at the 2024 World Trophy from Milan, Italy. Let's drop this axe and go for it.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, yes, Matthias is hot to trot. You can see he got that saw up there quickly, and Matthias has got a good cut there as he heads over to the underhand chop. This is going to be a tight one here. Jack Jordan is very fast with that axe, but Matthias is definitely keeping up and keeping that pace. Jack Jordan over to the second side, 2 strokes ahead of Matthias Klima, who is now on his second side. And is it going to be Jack Jordan getting over to that underhand or that single buck as quickly as he did before? It will be a little bit of a hop by his saw to get it into the groove. And now Matthias Klima joins him on that single buck. Jack pushing hard. Matthias trying to fight that saw through. You see the flow is definitely cleaner for Jack Jordan. Matthias Klima struggling a little bit as he forces that saw a bit too much. And now Jack Jordan definitely with the advantage on the standing block chop.
This man is a machine.
Matthias Klima drops that cookie on single buck, and now Jack Jordan is on the second side.
Oh my God, could that be a world record? It's a new world record! Oh my goodness! That popped off the top of that block. That was an absolutely incredible run from Jack Jordan. And he's got a world record. And not only a world record, but it's a world record by a bullet. Matthias Klima still fighting to get through the second side of his block. And right now he drops it in a time of 1:17.00. Wow, though.
Just like last year in the final, winning the trophy with a world record. This man is a legend.
Absolutely incredible. But what's more interesting for me is how the block came off that thing. He didn't cut it off and it didn't go flying across. It like hopped up and went down. I want to see the replay on that. If you guys in the truck can hear me, I definitely want to replay on the backside of that cut from Jack Jordan on that last driver. That was the most incredible final cut I've ever seen in my life. It was the weirdest thing. Maybe I missed seeing something, but that was
Fantastic.
Wow.
And now the official times have been set up. World record 52:53. So a good second faster than last year's trophy world record. Hey, if he keeps going like this, he's going to be finishing these trophies in 25 seconds. Crazy.
Winning it 3 times in a row and 2 times in a row with a new world record. This is insane.
Jack
Absolutely
Jordan with the hat
insane.
trick. Absolutely insane. Love it. Yeah.
Let's make it official.
And the winner is, with a new world record, Jack Jordan.
Oh, and is he getting it emotional now?
Yeah.
Or is that just me,
you know, having... You can see the smile on his face. It's allowed now, Jack. You're okay with it. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Very, very good job.
Sensational.
As well from Matthias Klima. I mean, I love the fact that he was up there in that final. By hook or by crook, he got there. And he really made Jack Jordan work for it. And maybe it's actually by virtue of Matthias Klima pushing Jack a little bit that he got that world record for the second time in a row.
I love that idea, yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice...
I'm going to run with that idea.
Yeah,
I'll write a book about it.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but Matthias Klima looked really good out there, and you could see, yeah, he was ready to go. And Matthias Klima, what a great job here today. Silver medal for him, and that's going to be one that he is going to put on his mantelpiece, and he'll be able to really enjoy that one. You know, he earned it. He fought for it.
Look at the dynamics of this man.
Watch this, watch this. There's going to be one race.
This is it.
Oh, it didn't hop up like I thought it did. Maybe the angle that I saw it at, but it was like crazy, you know? It was just
from this side, baby. You're getting all the angles.
Nah.
Okay.
I just miss seeing things, that's all. My old eyes are playing tricks on me. But it was a crazy one from this angle up here.
Oh, and he's got the smile. He's got the smile.
There it
He's
is.
loving it.
So the only thing I would say to Matthias Klima is that he is definitely right there with the best in the world. It's just that endurance has to change a little bit. You could see at the end there, he was absolutely blasted. And that's the difference between the guys that are really progressing and being strong on their drivers right to the very end, and the guys that are, you know, there, powerful, but struggling at the end because they're just willing themselves to hit that block.
Yeah, Matt Koger and Jack Jordan really showing us that it's possible. And it's brilliant pictures.
Yeah.
And there is the champion.
Live right now, I'm here with the winner of the World Trophy 2024, Jack Jordan. What a day today here in Milan. How did you live this competition, this World Trophy here in Milan? What is it all about for you?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Great to get another win here. It's yeah, there's a lot of hard work and effort that goes into it at home, and I truly believe that, you know, winning an event like this, that you win it in your backyard at home. You put that hard work in, and yeah, it goes to show when you get here. It's great to be here. I'd like to thank the New Zealand team brought us over here and looked after us. I'd also like to thank everyone back home. A real big thank you to everyone. Couldn't do it without yous. Also my sponsors, Still New Zealand, Forest 360 and Liba. Yeah, you know, it makes coming over here possible, and yeah, really appreciate it.
Allora, brevemente in italiano, è contentissimo, tanto lavoro ci ha messo, tanto allenamento e tanto sacrificio, ne valsa la pena vincere qui a Milano. È felice di aver appunto riuscito a raggiungere questo traguardo, e poi adesso andiamo a chiedergli, che ha fatto il nuovo record del mondo. One more question. Did you expect a new world record today?
No, I didn't really know what was going on there. Even when I come off, it was a bit of a strange feeling, and yeah, looked up and see that it looked like it was faster than my time from last year. So yeah, over the moon to get another world record like that.
Ok, dice che comunque no, non se la stava aspettando, è andata così anche l'anno scorso, non se l'aspettava, e poi alla fine è riuscito in questa ulteriore impresa. Congratulations to Jack Jordan, thank you so much, we can't wait for the prize giving ceremony. Grazie, Milano ti saluta, Milano!
Crowd is loving it, Jack Jordan is loving it. And I personally loved when he said, you win a competition like this in your backyard.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. I mean, these guys work their butts off in their own backyards to make sure they've got the skill level and they're ready to go here. So as we take a quick look at the final results there, you see Jack Jordan on top, Maciej Klima officially in second place, and Matt Kogar with the bronze medal today in third place. So good job and congratulations to those three guys.
So that is the final result for all 16 athletes. Of course, if you lose in the round of 16, then you're ranked with the time that you delivered. Or if you had a DQ like Michal Dubitsky, then that makes your position at the end of the day. But what an amazing competition. How enjoyable was that? This had everything you could wish for.
Yeah, this had the excitement from the top to the bottom. From the very get-go, we saw drama, we saw absolutely fantastic. One of the very first heats of the day was one of the very closest heats of the day in the round of 16, and it just kept getting better and better and ramping up until you saw
Klima, world record in the final.
Yeah, it doesn't,
Delose against Kogar.
Just throw coins at the pond here in this one, and you've got everything that you need. It's unbelievable. I mean, you called it, you know, anything can happen, and what happened to Matt Kogar? He forgot to turn off the chainsaw, and he gets DQ'd in that semifinal, and he's got a bronze medal today instead of going up against Jack Jordan. That would have been a monumental battle, and I think we're going to see those two guys aiming for each other come next season.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I think so too. But boy, I tell you, that was quite a day here.
And only one more thing missing, and that, of course, is the winners' ceremony.
Yes.
So let's go back on stage. We want to be part of this. We want to go live.
Yep, awards, here we come.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live again. Thank you for this fantastic competition. It was really, really a beauty following this Adrenalinic World Trophy 2024. E allora benvenuti alla cerimonia ufficiale di premiazione di Steel Timber Sport World Trophy 2024 qui a Milano. Abbiamo già ringraziato tutti i finalisti. Allora arriviamo al podio. This is the podium. Third place and winner of the bronze medal, terza posizione, vince la medaglia di bronzo per gli Stati Uniti, for the USA, Matthew Kogar. The medal is presented by Giulio Franceschi, Marketing Manager Steel Italia. Il premio viene consegnato dal Marketing Manager Steel Italia, il signor Giulio Franceschi. Second place and winner of the silver medal. Secondo posto e vincitore della medaglia d'argento, representing Czech Republic, per la Repubblica Ceca, Maciej Klima. The medal is presented by Mr. Giulio Franceschi, Marketing Manager Steel Italy. Consegna il premio il Marketing Manager Steel Italia, il signor Giulio Franceschi. Congratulations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, first place and winner of the gold medal and World Trophy Champion 2024. E allora, vincitore e medaglia d'oro del World Trophy e campione World Trophy 2024, representing New Zealand per la Nuova Zelanda, Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. New Zealand. The medal is presented by Marketing Manager Steel Italy, Giulio Franceschi. Consegna il premio Marketing Manager Steel Italia, il signor Giulio Franceschi. Congratulations. And it's not over, because we are having, adesso ancora, we're having the extraordinary trophy with a big Champions ring. Allora c'è ancora il trofeo con l'anello del champion, del campione, del vincitore. E allora, we hand out the trophy and the Champions ring is presented by Mr. Massimo Gallo, General Manager Steel Italy, amministratore delegato Steel Italia, Massimo Gallo. The trophy with the ring. New World Trophy Champion, New Zealand, Jack Jordan. Jack Jordan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, signore e signori, in onore del vincitore, in honor of the winner, sentiamo l'inno nazionale della Nuova Zelanda. In honor to the winner, we have the national anthem of New Zealand. Thank you so much, Jack Jordan. And now we are having the champagne shower. La doccia di champagne. Hey! Hey! Facciamoci sentire! Allora, carrellata di atleti, tutti quanti on the stage, all the athletes back on stage. Congratulations, Steel Timber Sports World Trophy 2024. These are the protagonists, i protagonisti. Tutti assieme, è una giornata magnifica, una giornata spettacolare, una giornata da incorniciare. Grazie agli atleti, ma grazie anche a tutti voi che magnificamente avete arricchito questa arena con il vostro calore, con il vostro tifo. Grazie, thank you so much. Ci vediamo alle prossime uscite di Steel Timber Sports. Back to the studio.
Jack Jordan, what a champion.
Jack Jordan, yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's going to need a new closet for all of those rings and trophies that he's receiving here. And probably an eye wash after getting champagne in his eyes so many times. But what a fantastic day for all of these guys on stage, but in particular for Jack Jordan. 1, your new world champion. 2, another world record in his pocket, and still lots of events coming up for this season.
And that's a nice signal from Maciej, by the way, saying that everything and anything is possible.
Yep.
You know, believe in yourself and you can get to the final.
Absolutely.
Bring home silver.
We saw it.
And if you feel like, I want more Steel Timber Sports, we have a lot coming up for you. Take a look at these dates.
So upcoming events were supposed to come onto our screen here, but nothing so far. But we do have a lot of events coming up this season, live streams. Here we go. So right now we just finished up the World Trophy here in Milan, Italy. Fantastic day, 15 to 16 of June. British Championships in Malvern, Great Britain, part of a great festival that they have there.
From the 26th to the 28th of July, the US Championships coming to you from Milwaukee.
I'm going to try this one, 21 September, French Pro Championships, Saint-Gaudens.
Oh, I love it.
In France. It's all live streams coming up in this season so far.
Yeah, European Trophy from Bellinzona in Switzerland on the 29th of September and then on the 8th and the 9th of November.
Team World Championship and the individual World Champion. The big question there is, will Australia five-peat as a Team World Champion? It's pretty tough to beat them at this point in time. But,
very tough, but
yeah.
New Zealand is looking strong. The
New
US
is looking strong.
Not too bad.
The US is looking very good. And like we saw here today, anything and everything can happen on these stages when these guys get out there and battle in all of these different formats. And boy, I tell you, today was absolutely fantastic. What a way to write this one off. I mean, can't say much more.
Let's watch the highlights and say goodbye from Milano Congressi Bella Italia. Ciao.
Ciao.